met me, I'm Peter Wells. I'm working for a company called Projects by If, which is a UK-based technology agency which specialises in helping organisations make responsible use of data. And we're currently doing some work with the Google team, a bit with the Linux Foundation, around a few open source security products. So you might have seen us in the SIG-Store community, if you're part of the SIG-Store community, and also looking at Salsa. And one of the things we're just going to present is a new version of a draft new version of the Salsa site, which is currently in staging. In the meeting notes, I've put a bit of a link to us, a link to the staging site, a link to some research we did on SIG-Store, which informed this design of the staging site. So some research with SIG-Store about the needs of security software developers, security product owners, public policy people, etc. So giving us insights into that audience. And then also a link to a research survey panel form, which I'll come back to at the end. So the new site should be coming up now. And what so the content here is all drafts. We're just working through some feedback at the moment on the content. And very much what we focus on is trying to ensure that all of the substantive content, the standard, which is under the requirements tab, so all the specifications that stay where they are. We've made a few grammar changes and a few things there just around readability, but generally focusing on improving the ethos, encouraging more work around adoption, and increasing some of the accessibility while still retaining the expert audience around the site. So we've been looking at how to describe the levels, the 4 Salsa levels, which provide increasing protection, provide them in a slightly more straightforward way to people, and get across the message that they're levels that provide increasing protection. Trying to get across this might have begun with Google, but it's been developed by a community, and this community is working across some of those things. We're going to be working on the image later, and that it complements other initiatives. So that Salsa isn't just something which exclusively complements some of the other work that's happening in various places. On security levels themselves, again, just trying to bring a few more people into the levels and give more people reasons to start to use Salsa. And very much the ethos there is because we know Salsa is working for like anything, I suppose, in our world, but it's still work in progress, but trying to encourage that use so we get the feedback from the use and the community can then benefit from that feedback to make it better at protecting things, at getting the right level of adoption in the right places. But then keeping all of the detail as is, because that's been developed by that community through their expertise. And very much encouraging on the site, so we're going to do a bit more work on this over the next couple of weeks, encouraging people to get involved in the community, to get people involved in providing feedback. I think a piece we're going to add over the next couple of days in the staging site before it gets pushed towards production is provide ways for people to talk about how they've implemented Salsa in their organization. So start to talk and encourage those activities. So again, it starts to show the social proof that people are using Salsa in various places, because in our quick bits of research, we found multiple organizations and people either using Salsa or trying to use it or experimenting with it, and encourage them that to become a feedback loop that improves the product and makes things better, because that obviously improves open source security, which is the goal of us all, because that can hopefully make the world a little bit better place, which is always a nice thing to do and how I like to end all of my days. And obviously for this particular audience, there's a shout out there as well for that community group pointing people towards OpenSSF and this group here. Now, I think we're just starting. I'm just going to share another screen. I'll go back to the site in a second. I'm just going to change tabs. It's because often when we've been, wasn't as much as SIG-Store, but it has been a thing with Salsa, is we found often we're talking with people who are already aware of the product or aware of the attempts or part of the community already. And one of the things we're keen to do is get more input from people who aren't yet engaged with these communities, who aren't yet engaged with these products. So we're looking at saying, okay, this is a survey we just set up. We say there's a link in the meeting notes, and I'm also just going to drop them in the chat here, to a survey, which is very quick and simple to fill out, but will enable people to start to say, I'm somebody who's interested in being involved in user research on these topics. And that then helps us provide insight. So things like Salsa and then things like Sigstore as well, we can continue to improve those and make sure they're working for more people and making sure we're bringing more people into those groups, because again, there's some common needs across those people. So I'd encourage anyone on this call, as well as, like I say, get back to the Salsa site, to share this survey with your community or with the enterprise you work in. So we're particularly keen to hear people who may not already be engaged in these practices. So sending that out so we can snowball some research would be great for us.
Peter,
yeah.
If I may interrupt real quick, this is David Wheeler. Are you showing us a draft of your survey, or do you want us folks here to actively enter this survey at this point?
We think this could be shared as is. If you've got feedback on any of the content we've written in there, send us that as well. But we think at the moment it's good enough to be, just for getting participants, we think it's good enough at this point. Yeah, and say if anyone does have feedback, just let us know. We come from the school of always iterating, always improving. And if people think it's not good enough, tell us that as well, because we always listen when we do listen. When part of the responsible thing is we listen when people say stop to us. That's it. I'll just switch back to the so that link's in the channel and in the notes. I'll just switch back to the site now, or the draft site, I should say. So I gave a quick overview. There is a link to this as well in the chat channel here, as well as in the Google Doc. If anyone has feedback right now on the content, on the design, on anything else, we're always keen to hear that.
And Peter, if folks want to send feedback, what's the, like, not on the call, what's the best way? Just shoot you an email maybe?
Yeah. We just peter@projectyf.com. So you can just send that through to that site, to that message. We'll put a link up on the site as well, we think. We might do a little thing on there just to capture feedback. And we can happily put that into the, I'll put that into the meeting notes as well when I get the brain space to switch my tab again without losing the track of the various tabs I've got going. Send that to there and we can pick that up.
I will comment that if you've got comments on Salsa itself, the details, so far, at least the guidance I've always heard is they like GitHub issues, because then, you know, it's recorded and people can see and comment and so on.
Yeah, anything that's actually on the specification requirements will push through to that place, because that's where they should be debated.
Right.
You know, so we're looking more at the bits around that, the content around that, which encourages people to get there.
Yeah, right now this, like what Peter's presenting here, is like not yet submitted to the main repo, but it will be whenever we ready to push. Yeah, so like the word, I think there's in fact already a GitHub issue about the word hermetic, so we could continue that discussion there. But yeah, we have a bunch of issues open about various. There's 22 open issues right now. Yeah, number 60 is about hermetic. Will do.
Cool, thank you, Peter. Any other quick feedback, questions? No? All right.
Cool.
Thank you, Peter.
You're very welcome. I'll pass back now.
And any other topics folks want to discuss today? Constantine, anything fun happening in your world?
Not. I don't think anything's happening. I mean, Patat is out there. It's completely unused as far as I can tell, except for a couple of people, but that's kind of expected. I am kind of waiting for some initial feedback from those folks that are using it before I go out and start, proselytizing to people and telling that, hey, this really, you should be using this. It doesn't involve that much work or effort. You just set it up once and it works. The hard part is going to be keyring management. That's always the hard part.
Cool. Okay. Well, I guess you guys get a lot of time back, but thanks for coming, and feel free to add agenda items next week too. If anyone's got anything to present or demos or want to chat up a discussion. Cool. All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.